Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the new information that's recently come out surrounding Jurassic World Dominion. So over these last few weeks, we've seen a lot of new stuff come out about the third film in the Jurassic World trilogy. And really ever since Colin Trevorrow teased the name to us, there's just been a pretty giant whirlwind of news to talk about. We've gotten a look behind the scenes at a new Pseudoceratops animatronic, we've gotten confirmation on a new snowy location being added to the franchise, and there was even a cool look at the red and yellow logo that they're going with. Well, now it looks like we've gotten a few more specific details that have come out about the movie over these last few days. So one of the shooting locations that we know for a fact Dominion will be working in happens to be in a wooded area called Holly Common. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this is actually the location that J.A. Bayona filmed the Lockwood Estate in for the last film in the series, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So I personally think that it's completely reasonable to assume that the Lockwood Mansion from the last movie will be making at least a small appearance in the new film. So the last time we saw this place, all of the remaining dinosaurs that were supposed to be going out to auction escaped into the woods once Maisie pushed the releasing button. So I guess the surrounding area of Northern California, where the estate is stationed at in the films, will at least partially be a part of Dominion's runtime. As far as the manor itself, the laboratory in the basement happened to be on fire at the end of Fallen Kingdom, so I'm not so sure how that's going to factor into the new movie, or really if it will at all, but nevertheless, they are indeed filming there for Dominion. Another bit of information that we've recently gotten comes directly from Colin Trevorrow himself, who posted this image of a giant dart piercing the windshield of some unknown vehicle. Now, I have no idea what kind of animal would need a dart shot at it that's this big, but I think it's safe to say that it's got to be one of the bigger species that's running around wild in Dominion. I guess one of the hunters happened to miss their intended target, whatever that may be. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying that this is a trank dart, which is more than likely true, but let's not forget that it could just as well be a poison dart like the one our old friend Eddie Carr had in The Lost World. So maybe these dinosaurs are in a bit more danger than we'd originally expected. Now, apart from that, there has been a lot of relatively odd news that I'm not so sure has anything to do with the actual plot of the movie, but it is interesting nonetheless. Sam Neill recently teased that he's in Morocco and, quote, back at work, which I found to be rather interesting, especially since Spinosaurus remains come from there, but hey, I could be thinking way too much into that little piece of info. Oh, and for some reason, Bryce Dallas Howard is currently in New Zealand, which, believe it or not, was the original intended location for Isla Sorna before production was selected to move to the Californian redwoods in The Lost World. So, will Dominion feature either of these two locations? Well, I guess we can't rule it out completely, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, Morocco and New Zealand could be in Dominion, so it seemed important enough to at least bring up. With all of that being said, I want to make it clear that I don't really think Site B itself will be featured heavily in Jurassic World Dominion at all, because recently we've actually gotten news from Real News Hawaii that the state, Hawaii itself, will not be a location where the film is intended to shoot. And this was pretty much where all of the Sorna speculation was coming from as far as a point of reference for locations go. Now, I actually do think Isla Sorna will be briefly discussed in Dominion, since it already was brought up in Fallen Kingdom by Eli Mills, and since we know in the expanded lore, a lot has happened to the island since JP3, but yeah. As far as Hawaii goes, it's probably not going to be a shooting location for Jurassic World Dominion at all. And the movie will instead film in a lot of other areas meant to cover the full expansion of this dinosaur outbreak in the modern world. Now that I've gone through all of that, I've got to say that I'm pretty excited to see where things can go. But I also want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of this new information that has recently come out. So whatever those happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you've all continued to support me the way you do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video, and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.